Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Ken Lavigne, singer and vocal coach here on YouTube. And today we are looking at SABATON and their cover version of 1916, the original being by Motorhead back in 1991. This was a suggestion and a request by one of our dear subscribers and viewers here on the channel who wrote me a lovely note and left a kind donation to the channel. So thank you very much, Antithetical on YouTube. So we are just going to dive into this version right now. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I think I got it loaded up. Let's take a look. Wearing sunglasses at night. So cool. Very serious.
16 years old when I went to the war to fight for a land fit for heroes. God on my side and a gun in my hand, chasing my days down to zero. And I marched and I fought and I bled and I never did get any older. But I knew at the time that a year in the line was a long enough life for a soldier.
Okay, a lot of the imagery, I think, harkening back to another reaction that I did to SABATON and their Christmas truce of 1914 or 1915, the same sort of World War I imagery and telling the story of the miracle of the Christmas truce on the front lines where German and English soldiers put down their guns on Christmas Eve and sang Christmas carols and exchanged gifts with one another, and them being so close together. And of course, this infuriated the generals of the time and said, oh, we got to put a stop to that. Okay, next day, we're going to go back to killing each other. I imagine this might be one of the first times that militaries conscripted civilians as opposed to professional soldiers to essentially go out and expose themselves to the meat grinder of second wave or third wave warfare. I am not sure if this is a consistent theme of SABATON and their music, looking at these themes from the First World War, but I've only seen 2 of their videos and they both concentrate on the First World War. Very powerful metaphors and imagery being implored here in the music video.
And we added 2 years to our ages, eager for life and ahead of the game, ready for history's pages.
Wow, there's a lot of power in that voice, and there's an incredible sort of vestibular growl going on there, unlike anything that I've really heard from this lead singer before. Really powerful. Almost, it feels like there's a little bit of bass enhancement to that gritty sound.
For history's pages, and we brawled and we fought and we fought till we stood 10,000 shoulder to shoulder. Our thirst for the hun, we were food for the gun, and that's what you are when you're soldiers.
So some imagery of warriors from every era walking shoulder to shoulder down the streets of London, presumably. These are the faces of those who went to war, who remain nameless and offered up their body as tribute to whatever political powers were forcing them to face off against cannons and, oh man, the strength of will to do that.
Your soldiers.
I just getting chills everywhere. Very powerful key change moving into this. It's a different vibe, different feel from Lemmy and his original vision for this song, which was much more stark and in terms of its approach, much more in keeping with a heroic ballad sung in the barroom with nothing more than the human voice. And this one is grander, but it feels like it has more of a forward momentum, a push, no less emotive or no more emotive. There is greater depth in the orchestration, and it really brings out, I think, too, the power of the lyrics. You really feel them viscerally, and of course these images too are very moving.
And the guts and the blood, and I wept as his body grew colder. And I called for my mother, and she never came. Though it wasn't my fault, and I wasn't to blame. And the day's not half over, the 10,000 slain. And now there's nobody remembers our name. And that's how it is for a soldier.
Jeez, I'm biting my tongue here, just trying not to get too overwhelmed. Yeah, obviously the video is not over yet. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. There are many people that view the memorials that we erect for our fallen heroes or fallen warriors, fallen soldiers, as something of a glorification of war. And I couldn't disagree more. It is by perpetuating the memory of these horrific battles that inflicted so much pain and suffering on an entire generation of people that we understand the true cost. I have fortunately never, ever had to witness what a howitzer does to a human body or what a machine gun fire looks like from the receiving end of it. And I thank my lucky stars that I never ever have had to, and I hope I never will. And the thing that we have to remember is that the average fella who went off to war had their head filled with the propaganda of the time of good times and glory, and no knowledge of the true horrors that awaited them. And it's absolutely brutal. And we do need to commemorate, or rather commit, those moments to our memory so that they never, ever happen again. So that we're never drawn into an endless meat grinder conflict. This little video has a couple more minutes here. I'm going to play it through. Beautiful string arrangement. SABATON and their production are really just off the chart. I'm not sure if these are listener-supported endeavors, but their videos, they're very powerful. They're very well done. Ending with that lone soldier from the very beginning. And yeah, very powerful stuff. Thank you very much, Antithetical, for drawing this to my attention and requesting that I take a listen and have a review. Vocally, I think there was less distortion and much more emphasis on clarity of the words, because the words are beautifully simple and poetic, and they draw images that I think are memorable and worthy of taking that extra time to enunciate so that they are clearly understood. That is not always the case when it comes to metal vocalists. Many times it's much more about the power and raw virtues of a gritty shout than it is about clearly enunciating all of the words, and I'm very grateful that the SABATON lead singer had made the choice to make sure that those words were clear and the full emotional impact was felt behind them. Now, if you have a request for the channel, hey, there are links down below in the description where you can get a hold of me directly, make a donation to the channel to cut through all the noise. Also, too, if you have something to say about this particular video and perhaps maybe about some of the themes that are explored, leave your comments down below in the chat. Love to hear what you have to say. And also, too, if you are not yet a member of this fabulous community of music lovers and vocal aficionados, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of the great stuff that we produce here every week on the channel. Thank you so much for taking time out of your super busy day and spending a few of those precious moments here with me on the channel. Love and appreciation to you all. We will see you next time. Beautiful string arrangement.